The following are practical and fun activity ideas to help your child develop the skills needed for fine motor activities. These activity suggestions are divided into the same 4 building block categories we talked about in the developmental overview: stability, bilateral coordination, sensory processing, and dexterity. We will show examples and talk about activities that help develop each building block skill. For more activity ideas, please insert this disc into a computer to view or print activity suggestion sheets, which are included as a PDF on this disc. To develop and use fine motor skills, children need strong muscles to create stability in their bodies, shoulders, and hands. Body and shoulder stability are like the strong foundation you build your house upon. Activities that require children to move their arms, hands, or legs in a particular way while keeping the rest of the body still or stable will build body and shoulder stability. Activities that require and help develop strength, like climbing, crawling, silly animal walks, and carrying age-appropriately heavy objects, are great ways to build body stability. The muscles this little girl uses to sweep would also get a good workout with snow shoveling, leaf raking, batting a ball, or using a hockey stick. Wiping counters, roller painting, mirror or wall washing, and chalkboard erasing are just some of the other ways to work on shoulder strength and stability. There are many other ways to build stability: putting your boots on by yourself, catching, throwing, and kicking a ball, even lying on your tummy, propped on your arms to read or play with toys, all help build strength and stability. Transitional movements, getting yourself from one position to another, like sitting to standing and getting on and off of a bicycle, swing, or chair, are also great ways for preschoolers to develop strength, balance, and stability. When possible, encourage and allow your child to get up and down, in and out, or on and off by him or herself, with supervision and encouragement, but only as much help as is truly needed. Developing strength and stability in the hand is also important. Just as strength in the body and shoulder creates the stability needed to allow the arm to move freely, strength in the hand allows the little and ring fingers to create the stability needed for the thumb and forefingers to make fine, controlled movements. Any activities that require strong holding with your hands while moving the arm or body, such as steering a bike, playing on monkey bars, or stirring cookie dough, help develop hand strength. Activities like squeezing and rolling Play-Doh, cookie or bread dough, wringing out a cloth, and digging in wet sand are excellent ways to develop hand stability and in-hand strength. Activities like squirreling small toys or snack items into the hand and then letting one out at a time, holding and manipulating 2 or more items in one hand at a time, like these popsicles, playing card games, and using spray bottles, tongs, or scissors all help develop hand stability by requiring children to practice keeping the little and ring fingers stable while moving the thumb and forefingers. Children need the efficient and coordinated use of both hands to tie shoelaces, pour, cut with scissors, and in fact, to do most fine motor activities. There are 2 types of two-handed activities, and both kinds are important for children's development: hands-together activities and activities with one primary doer hand and one helper hand. In hands-together activities, both hands do the same or a very similar job. Examples of activities that practice this skill include two-handed pouring, folding clothes or towels, taking apart and putting together Duplo, Lego, or pop beads, clapping, drumming and playing other musical instruments, performing action songs, catching and throwing a large ball, and any other activities discussed in the stability section that use 2 hands doing the same job, like shoveling, batting, and steering a bike. In other two-handed activities, the child uses both hands, each in different ways. One hand is the doer hand, and the other is the helper hand. Any play activity in which the child needs to hold or stabilize a toy with one hand while playing with the other will help develop this skill. Some examples are opening jars, holding and turning pages in a book, lacing and beading, doing up zippers and other dressing activities, holding paper while cutting, stirring while holding the bowl, holding a dish while eating. When doing any of these activities, allow the child to choose which hand is the doer and which is the helper. Over time, with practice, each child will begin to use one hand more consistently as the doer, and right or left-handedness will naturally develop. Many activities involve some parts where both hands do the same job, and other parts where each hand does a different job. You can probably think of many activities that your child enjoys that involves both kinds of two-handed skills. Being able to take in and use information from all of our senses is important for the development of fine motor skills. Most people know about the 5 senses of vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch, but there are 2 other senses that are important for fine motor development. Kinesthesia, the sense of movement, tells us the direction and how fast our body is moving, and proprioception, the sense of joint position, tells us the position of our muscles and joints and how much force or pressure each joint is experiencing. For fine motor skills, it is especially important to develop the senses of touch, movement, and joint position. When these senses are well developed, they allow children to know where their hands are and what they're doing when they can't see them, know what they're touching when they can't see it, and adjust how much force or pressure they need to use for each activity. Children's sense of touch develops through interacting and playing with many different textures and types of materials. Ideas include gardening, playing in a sandbox, at a water table, or with bins of rice, beans, or flax, finger painting, playing with Play-Doh, exploring and drawing in baby powder, shaving cream, or foam soap, helping with baking cookies, and other kitchen activities. There are lots of other opportunities to develop the sense of touch. For example, you can find lots of great textures in craft supplies, such as feathers, pom-poms, glue, yarn, ribbon, scrap pieces of fabric, and old buttons. Activities which require a child to use a specific amount of force to achieve a goal, or which require children to move their hands or bodies in a particular way, all help develop joint position and movement senses. Ideas include silly animal walks, obstacle courses, action songs and rhymes, Simon Says, swinging, sliding, and ball games, lifting, carrying, and putting away toys, groceries, and other items of different sizes and weights, pouring, filling, and emptying containers with different play materials, or during baking and other kitchen activities. During all of these sensory activities, most children will combine the senses of movement, joint position, and touch with the sense of vision. In fact, many skills like drawing and cutting are also called visual motor skills, as the senses of vision, movement, and touch all work so closely together. The child sees what he or she is doing and constantly adjusts to achieve the desired effect. Dexterity enables us to make small, precise, and efficient movements with our hands and fingers. There are 4 categories of dexterity skills that all develop during the preschool years: grasp and release, pinch and thumb control, finger coordination, and wrist movement. Let's look at activities that help each of these 4 skills develop. Grasp and release is simply the ability to pick up, hold, and let go. Building blocks, shape sorters, puzzles, and construction toys like Mega Blocks, K'NEX, Tinker Toys, and Lego are all activities that work on grasp and release and can be chosen to fit your child's age and abilities. Moving from big to small, for example from Mega Blocks to Duplo to Lego, and from activities that require just a controlled release to those that require very good aim and precise release, are 2 of the ways that you can make these activities more challenging as your child's abilities develop. Pinch and thumb control is the ability to use a pincer or pinch grasp, that is the thumb and 1 or 2 fingers, and to control the movement of the thumb. Beading, picking flowers, seeds, and leaves, putting coins in a piggy bank, opening and closing zip-top bags, lacing, tying, buttoning and zipping, pinching Play-Doh or rolling it between your thumb and fingers all require and help develop pinch and thumb control. Finger coordination is the ability to move and coordinate fingers separately from one another. For very young children, pointing and poking, which requires isolating the movement of the index finger, is a great finger coordination activity. For older preschoolers, using a squirt gun, spray bottles, playing musical instruments like the piano or recorder, finger action songs, playing with finger puppets, doing up buttons and other fasteners, and playing cards, board games, and games like Connect 4 or Kerplunk are all activities that need and help develop finger coordination. Wrist control and movement of the wrist and forearm in all the ways it can move is another component of dexterity. Stirring, opening doorknobs, emptying containers, pouring, shaking, playing frisbee, and playing with a slinky are all activities that strengthen wrist movement and allow children to practice wrist control. As you've probably noticed, many common play and helping activities involve more than one skill at a time. As these little boys help make cookies, they're using all 4 aspects of dexterity plus all the other fine motor building blocks we've talked about: two-handed coordination, stability, and sensory processing. Most importantly for the boys, though, is that they are doing something they enjoy and feeling good about being helpful and grown up enough to make cookies. They aren't consciously practicing something that's good for them, they're making cookies. Their mother helps them to develop their skills by allowing them to do as much of the activity by themselves as they can, even though she could do it faster on her own, and steps in to help only when needed to help them succeed and to learn how to do new things.